Oh, BLW beat you to it, Wendy. He was first. Normally, Wendy's the master at being first. Hey, Teresa. Kumanina. Hey, Jen. Oh, well, glad you're watching that. Every little bit helps. You tripped. Hey, Truth. Yeah, to be honest, guys, I've been feeling horrible today. Like, really not right. Not myself. Like, something's messed up. So, I've been kind of playing the day by ear. What's up, Cleveland? You don't ever answer my text, man. But if I disappear for a little while, the thing is, my cardiologist wants to go back in and take another peek. Pretty sure they're going to have to put some more stents in or even do a bypass. But between my mom being in the hospital and I got to go for all this stomach stuff, they're kind of trying to hold off. So... So, hopefully my heart holds out until then. I'm pretty sure not all the notifications went out. So, how is everybody? I wasn't expecting a big crowd, not with it being, midday Sunday. Some people are still in church or even sleeping. Hey, Tex Rose. Thank you. Cleveland, I sent you a text the day before yesterday, and then I sent you one yesterday. I've been trying to talk to you for a while, but... Hey, Perth, welcome. But just so, anybody knows, all the stuff aside, if I disappear for, if I just, log off or whatever, like I said, my system's been all screwed up, so it just means I had to bail and had to go call the hospital or something. Of course, I get a text once I go live. Damn it, why can't I type? Hey, Missy. Yeah, I figured a lot of people aren't getting them. Well, that's cool, Tammy. Just be careful, take it easy, especially if you're out there alone. Don't push it. For your first audits, especially if you're alone, don't go crazy. Don't be very confrontational. You gotta learn to get in the swing of things. You gotta make sure you brush up on your local laws. Pink Camera Magic just posted a video for new auditors and activists. I highly recommend checking it out. Hey, Boomer. One of the things I wanted to bring up was, I was in Bow's stream last night, Gunner's stream. But, we kept talking about trying to get Gunner to make a video that basically explains the situation, explains the charges, explains Bow's history, his lack of a criminal record, all those things, and the list of all of the stipulations they tried to put on him. And hopefully he gets that done, like, as quick as possible. And once that's up, everybody needs to mirror the heck out of it. I mean, do what you gotta do, edit it a little bit, whatever, whatever you think your viewers will like. But it's definitely something that needs to be spread like wildfire. I mean, hey, Eggs, we really gotta push the whole issue with him, because we need a higher court, a federal court or something, that needs to step in and override Tarrant County and get him out of there. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You've got, a military veteran with no criminal history who's in solitary confinement. It'll be 2 months by the time he goes before a judge again for a misdemeanor, a Class D misdemeanor, no less. I mean, it really needs to spread like crazy. I was gonna make my own video, but I'm gonna wait and see what Gunner comes up with and go from there. Maybe I might just post his video or make a new one based on his video. Just depends on how it turns out. Yeah. You're right, Perth. I mean, we don't want to overstep any legal boundaries. Do not become harassing. But we definitely need it needs to go to every media outlet in the country. Like, literally, every single media. I don't care how big or how small it is. It needs to be spread everywhere. Every little newspaper, every little college newspaper, every little radio station, every local TV station. You got your local public broadcasting service stations. Pretty much every city has one. I mean, or at least every big city. But every media outlet out there needs to be hammered with information about Bao and about his arrest, about the stipulations, about the obvious, painfully obvious corruption that's going on. When Gunner said, I didn't know this, but Gunner said that when they bailed him out, and it was like 2 hours later or whatever when he was finally picked up again for not signing the stipulation forms and thus not satisfying the bond. I didn't know that they denied him legal counsel on the spot, and that there was 3 different officials trying to rush him to sign the forms. I didn't know that part. That made me even more sick at the situation. I don't know, MD. That's just it. There's no organized structure going on right now of handling this. I know Maximilianaire has been trying his hardest to make the Dow videos and explain what's going on, but that's 5 different videos right now, and people, let's face facts, people want to be entertained. So hey, Southern Indiana, we need to do what we can to present this information in a way that keeps people interested and wants them to push harder to help. I mean, look at the rally that showed up that OG 2.0 was at yesterday. We should be getting those kind of turnouts for Bao. I mean, seriously. If the information was more readily available and more people know, I mean, they're in what? The San Antonio area? I don't remember. We're at Tarrant County. Is that San Antonio? I mean, either way, every major city in Texas has over 1 million people in it. Whether it's Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, whatever, they got over 1 million people in each. So, I'm pretty positive that if enough people knew, then people would show up. Yeah, BLW, that was cool. actually texting with Pink Camera Magic. Hey, Christian Cats. Yeah, it is insane. It really is. I mean, it's the bottom line is not enough people know about it. That's why not much is being done. I mean, I know Gunner's doing what he can. I know Ethics is doing what he can. I know Freeman helped out a lot. It's just he's also dealing with his own issues. I mean, he's actually dealing with an FBI level issue. So it's a big thing, though. More people need to know. More people need to be brought into the fold. More people need to be made aware of everything. No good ones, what? Cops? Well, I know that's your opinion. Like I said, we've had that discussion here several times, and you know, like I said, I know good cops. I've been arrested by good cops. I've got a good probation officer. I mean, the guy, I've been on probation for 2 years, and he's been really good to me over the last 2 years. So, I mean, you're right, Perth. They're a lot, MD. They're a lot of money. My wife used to work for Lamar, which is like the largest billboard company in New York State, and they owned those rolling billboards, and those cost way more than the static billboards you see along the highways. Regular billboards run thousands. You might get lucky and get a throwaway board, which is basically a billboard in an area that nobody wants to pay for. So they sell the space really cheap, maybe $500 to $1,000 for a 2-week run of a sign. But, yeah, it's expensive, man. If you wanted to get one of the big ones along the freeway, you're talking $5,000 a month. The rolling billboards are like $7,500 a month. Well, not harass, Perth. We don't want to say harass. We don't want to say flood. We don't want to say anything like that. So, the bottom line is we need to make sure the information is well known. I'm trying to get Amanda to call in here so we can talk about this more. She's busy at the moment, but you know, she's got great views on everything, which is why I want her to kind of take part in this. Perth, we've had a lot of things like wording, simple wording like that being held against us. Hey, America. Like when Bunny Boots, when he got arrested a while back, he didn't even say flood call. But people were in his stream saying flood call. And just by doing that, they increased his bail by like $1,200. Just for that. Just the wording, flood call. So it's silly things like that that are getting people in trouble now. Even with Freeman. Statements being made in his comment sections and in his streams that he has no control over and legally is not responsible for. He's still, you know, even though he's gonna win in the end, they're still harassing him for it now. Yeah, well, flyers would be great if somebody can afford it. Making flyers and getting it out there, putting it in people's windshield wipers, putting it in mailboxes, that would be great. I'm not in. It would be best if you could do it in and around Tarrant County, because the citizens of that county need to be made aware of what their local government is doing. I'm not calling for any harassment, anything illegal. I'm not calling for people to bomb them with phone calls and all that. No. But the citizens should be made aware of what the Tarrant County officials are doing to a military veteran with no criminal history and being charged with a Class D misdemeanor non-violent crime, victimless crime, contempt of court, or contempt of cop. I don't remember which one it is. But either way, it's contempt. I mean, no. That's absurd. You know. Well, America, there are some, even if we only get 1% of the population of the greater San Antonio area, 1% of that population is still 10,000 or more people. Hey, Radical Reactor, man, what's up? So even if we only get 1% of the greater San Antonio area involved in this, 1%, I have no idea what the population of San Antonio and the greater San Antonio area is. If somebody wants to look that up real quick to give us an idea. But I'm going to guess it's over 1 million people. So, I mean, come on. 1% of that. 10,000 people to get involved in this. When 10,000 people stand together, all the news gets involved. Because they're going to say, hey, man, there's something going on. There's 10,000 people involved in this. Hey, Mary Jane. So we definitely, we need to get this going. It'll be great if we can get it going across the entire country. But the greater Tarrant County area, okay, 2004... almost 2.5 million. So 25,000 people, 1% of that area, 1%, 25,000 people. So, well, there might be 1.5 million in the city and then 2.5 in the greater San Antonio area. So either way, even if we only got 1% of the San Antonio city itself, that's still going to be 14,000, 15,000 people. I'm sure there is Christian cats. Honestly, that thought didn't cross my mind. Anything that costs money, I hadn't really looked into. So I can't afford it. So, hey, EK. Okay, so there's 1.5 million people in the city, 2.5 million in the greater the metro area, which means suburbs and all that too. But even if we only got 1% of the city itself involved in this, that's still 15,000 people. Christian cats, yeah, I mean, that's nice in theory, but unfortunately, lately, there's been a lot of name-calling and e-bagging crap, people accusing others of that, and, you know, plus the fact is, people are getting donated out. I mean, they've been helping a lot of people. Well, MD, it's going to take one sheet of paper to provide all the information. We need to basically put an overview on it of what's going on. Hey, Upstate, who the problem is, or, you know, about him. His military record, his lack of criminal record, All that has to be outlined in a simple, clean, attractive way. It needs to be, but then those, synopsis of all them stipulations needs to be put on there. The whole 24-hour solitary, which was deemed unconstitutional to people that are A, not on death row, or B, people that are, what do they call it? Basically like supermax prisoners. Hey, Skyhawk. But I mean, there's serial murderers that are not put in 24-hour lockdown. So, really, I mean, you got a guy with a Class D nonviolent victimless crime misdemeanor sitting in 24-hour lockdown that has to beg for the phone. His legally hey, time to stand. His legally guaranteed phone, he's supposed to get at least 1 hour of rec a day. And they're not doing it. They put him in 24-hour lockdown. He's not in protective custody. He has not assaulted a guard or done anything to require supermax level supervision. He was denied legal counsel. How many times was he denied that legal counsel? So, I mean, it's all of this needs to go on the flyer. All of this needs to go in the emails. All of this needs to be gone on mirrored videos on everybody's channel. I don't care if you only have 10 subscribers. Everybody needs to be made aware of this. So, do not do anything illegal. Do not do anything rude. Do not do anything immoral. Just get the information out there. I want Bao out of jail. I'm sorry, you guys don't understand. I would talk to Bao offline. We would talk and text and stuff. He is a great guy with a great mind. Hey, we're talking about Bao right now. But he has got a great mind. And he's got a great view on activism. So, I miss having these chats with my friend, And I'm sure you guys miss watching his live streams. So, yeah, MD, the hard part is putting the link. It's got to be in a channel like mine or somebody's where we have an actual YouTube channel name in a URL. Like with me, it's youtube.com/c/Brian King Productions. So, we can't just spell out some hexadecimal name because people ain't going to want to type that out. They put him in the hole. He was in General Pop. And he was spreading the word to other prisoners. And apparently they deemed him a threat. So they stuck him in 24-hour lockdown. Alright, we got pink camera. Hey there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. We're just talking about Bao and how we can spread the information about his military history and all those silly stipulations and all that, and trying to bounce ideas off each other on what we can do.
To be totally honest with you, I mean, I really don't think there's much that we can do.
Well, we were
talking...
We were thinking just basically bombarding the population with flyers, with emails, with, mirrored videos, whatever we can, because, so few people in reality know about this. So, what do you think about that?
Does anyone know sort of well, I guess my first thoughts are, maybe we could figure out what the chain of command is. I mean, is there anyone with, certain pardoning powers that... Because I think that infiltrating the police departments and things like that is really not going to make much of a difference. I don't even know if like doing it at the court would make a difference at this point. But we need to first of all figure out who it is that we need to, who makes those kind of decisions, and then sort of focus on that. You know, and if it's like perhaps an elected politician, then then we plan on how the flyers work and things like that, so that way we can focus on getting that person to understand and know what's happening. I guess that's my initial thoughts.
No, and that's great. I mean, that's great. I mean, that's more information I didn't think about. I mean, I'm just, after listening to Bow last night on his, when Gunner was live, it's just, you can hear it in his voice. I mean, he's getting to his breaking point. So, yeah. I mean, we want him out. He needs to be out. By his next court date, he'll have logged almost 60 days in there just waiting for court.
Yeah, that's how they do. And I guess if you have the nerve to like annoy people that are in government, then they'll flex their authority and do what they can to just be assholes and try to make an example out of somebody or prove a point. It's pretty obvious. I mean, between me, Val, and like James Freeman and stuff, like none of us have these convictions. Like we've not been convicted of crimes, but yet they feel like it's okay to assume that we're guilty, lock us up, and they're trying to make a statement. And, it's up to the viewers, it's up to everybody, the community, to decide whether or not they think that's appropriate or if they think that's right. And, sometimes call flooding and things like that is one of the only tools that we have to, like, get our point across and let people know and so they can receive the message and sort of act accordingly.
Yeah, I mean, I was stressing the point about don't do anything illegal, don't do anything harassing, just basically, treat this as if it was we were trying to get somebody elected for president, treat it that way. We need to get that information out to those people to get our guy elected out of jail. That's what we're shooting for.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think a lot of people, especially the people who can make those changes, really don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And that's just it. A lot of our phone calls and whatnot are getting stopped at the clerical level. They're not making it to the politicians. It's not making it to the ears of the judges. We got...
Right, and those are the ones that we vote for, so I think those are the ones that would be more inclined to take a listen to what the people have to say.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think of that. I mean, like, that's why we're doing this. We're bouncing ideas, whatever we can come up with. Because, I mean, like I said, you can hear it in his voice. He's getting to his breaking point. He's at what, day 40 now or something like that?
Yep, all for what? For coming to court at a time that they, when they changed it on him, and like, there's got to be some kind of law that they broke by doing that. I wonder if anyone's ever dug in to just kind of see exactly what their like judicial code of conduct is and like what is appropriate, and how long do people actually have to attend the court date? Do they have to be there at that specific time, or do they have till the entire day? I mean, I don't know if anyone's actually looked that up.
Well, see, with me now, unfortunately, I've been in court many times, and with me, it was always you had until the judge ended their day. It was,
Me too.
Basically, it was. But if they called your name and you weren't there, they could say. I mean, I've sat there and watched a judge do this when they called other people's names and the people weren't there. It could be, still 10 o'clock in the morning, and the judge would say, failure to appear, bench warrant, or whatever, and that was it. They wouldn't even give the person to the rest of the day. Sometimes they would say, okay, well, let's see if he shows up by 3 o'clock. Other times they say, bench warrant, stick him in jail. So it's
yeah, they may have to. They probably have every power to use their discretion.
Yeah, and that's what's so unfortunate about it is they're allowed to use so much discretion, and If I'm not mistaken, this particular lady that this all started with isn't even a real judge. Isn't that the lady that they just hire on weekends to be a judge? Wasn't that lady?
I don't know. I get confused because, from what I understand, I thought that was James Freeman, the lady who charged him. I think was like a fake judge, or maybe she was an attorney and just showed up that day. I'm not exactly sure.
Right. Yes, time to stand. Pink is on house arrest. Yeah, no, I don't know. I know that originally there's a lot of strife started with that lady, because I remember watching Bow's stream and Freeman's stream, and it was with that lady that she was a lawyer who got hired on weekends to play judge for misdemeanor cases only. And she had a very big issue with Bow filming in court and with James filming in court. And I remember, you know, they hooked James up just for standing up and saying, "I'm sorry, I didn't hear you." You know, she took that as contempt. So I just don't. I'm blown away at this. You know, I've sat in jail, but it was always for actual crimes. It wasn't for, you know, being 20 minutes late to court. And
yes.
I don't know. I don't remember if, I mean, does anybody in the chat know, was he actually late, or was it an issue of they rescheduled him without telling him? Because I was told he was late.
They rescheduled him.
Oh, see, I was told he was late.
Well, yeah, that's why he was late, from what I understand. I guess he was under the impression it started at like 10 o'clock or something, and they changed it to 9, something along those lines. So I almost wonder if he has paperwork, or he could probably get that in court fairly easily, that they issued to him, you know, prior, saying the time, the start time or whatever. You would think it'd be that easy, but it seems very obvious that it's, you know, retaliation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right there. It is. It's just like with you, you know. I mean, even you said that your public pretender there told you that the judge didn't want you filming.
Yes, that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, that's just. Oh my God, it's so frustrating, because, you know, our hands are tied because our entire movement is based on staying legal. So it's not like we can, we can't show up on their door, you know, like a riot and demand that you be let loose or that Bow be let loose, because that's not going to solve anything.
Yeah, I saw Mrs. Constitutional put a comment up there about the Attorney General. I actually think that's a really good idea.
Wait, what did I must have missed something. What did you say?
In the comments, Mrs. Constitutional said that this might be a situation for the Attorney General, as far as Bow's concerned.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, Miss Constitutional has years of law school, so she's definitely someone to listen to. Yeah, you should sit down and have a chat with her sometime. She's extremely intelligent and extremely nice.
Yeah, she's awesome. We haven't really like sat down and chatted, but we've talked via commenting and stuff like that. And yeah, she's pretty awesome.
Yeah, she was in school to be a lawyer, and decided that she didn't like what she was seeing. So, but she still has the knowledge and the dedication.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend you sit down and have a chat with her sometime. I mean, if you want,
yeah,
I could.
I'd love to.
I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I passed you her number. So, I mean,
cool.
Miss Constitutional, if you don't mind. But, yeah, so this is what we need to do. We all need to brainstorm, and whatever it is, whatever we can do to spread the information. I mean, do you know anybody that works in media? Oh, she says she's blushing.
No, I don't, but I know there's been a couple of instances where I was sort of, I guess, advocating for people when I saw some videos that were pretty outrageous, and I was able to get a hold of some people. Just what I do when I'm trying to get the word out or get like a video out there is I'll go to Facebook a lot of times, and I'll go to their local news news. Like I'll type in the search engine or the search part of Facebook, you know, San Antonio News or whatever, and all these different outlets will pop up, whether it's like the TV station, radio, newspaper, stuff like that. And I'll send links to the video in all their inboxes, not in the comments. You know, and most of the time they'll see them, and it's resulted in stories a couple of times. And so if people, instead of necessarily going to like the police department's Facebook and saying, you know, you guys suck, giving them bad reviews, which is fine, but the people who actually be able to get the word out there are like the media, the news stations, the newspapers, stuff like that.
Yes.
And if more than one person does, there'll be a little pressure to actually, you know, consider it. Like, okay, let's take a closer look here. Also, local cities have a lot of times like police accountability boards and stuff like that. A lot of big cities, for when there's instances with the police, that's another good place to do like a press release to, or you know what I mean, or send videos to.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of ironic. I just noticed this, but you know, I use Streamlabs to stream, and it always picks a random color for the chat when it appears on the screen, and it just it just happens that here I am talking to you, and it chose to use pink. So everybody's name is Pink. How about that? So you guys, you guys hear this? I mean, you know, she suggests. Once Gunner does get this video out listing all those stipulations and listing the charges and everything else, send the links to all your Facebook contacts. Send them to all your local media inboxes. You know, just like Pink suggests. I didn't think of that either. You know, I was just making phone calls to media sources. I don't do the Facebook thing, but, you know, I know a lot of these guys do. So
well, you put together, if you can do with a little research, you can find like some of the contacts, people who do stories and stuff like that. You can find their email. A lot of times they put them at the bottom of stories that they do, and create your own email list. Like, you know, in Gmail or whatever, create like a list, and then just do like a mass email, or you know.
Right, and try to be, you know, try to be professional. Try to you know, abstain from any vulgarities or anything like that. Let's all be professional about this. Because, you know, we need to get Pink's story out. We need to get Bow's story out. We need to get James Freeman's story out. We need to get, you know, they're trying to put pressure on us. This is exactly what they're doing. So they're taking our most prolific, most well-known activists and slapping leashes on them. Slapping them in cages. We need to reverse the role here completely legally and just spread the word and put pressure that way, simply by having our voices heard. You know, that's what activism's all about, having your voice be heard. So these are great ideas. You know, like I said, I'm glad you thought of that, because I sure didn't. I mean, I must have called.
Things we're doing it don't seem to be working too well. Unfortunately, we got to try some different things and reaching out to some different people who normally probably would have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I was just making phone calls, and most of these places I called, they're like, "You're in New York, you know, what the hell do you care?" And they'd hang up on me. I mean, more often than not, they pretty much just said, "Why do you even care?" and then hung up. So we definitely need to try to bypass the clerical staff, bypass all the people that are stonewalling us. And I keep saying this, they keep talking about doing a rally at Leon Valley. Yeah, I get it, Leon Valley's a big deal. But Bao is sitting in a cell. There needs to be a protest at Tarrant County. I mean, I don't know if they have like a single municipal building or how it's laid out, but, you know, there needs to be a fully legal protest there, spreading the word, you know, giving out flyers, anything, right there where one of our own is being held in a cage. So, you know, just like if anybody in the Chicago area, you know, same thing. Look at what they're doing to Pink, and look what they're doing to Chi-Town Sue. You know, That's not right. I mean, putting him on house arrest for, I mean, what was your charge? A Class D or Class E misdemeanor?
Yeah, I think it's a Class B misdemeanor, and the maximum sentence on it is like 120 days. So I will probably, more than likely, assuming I get a conviction, will have time served just from the house arrest.
Yeah, and
if they give me the maximum.
Right.
Which has no priors here, so...
Well, see, the only downfall is a judge does not have to consider time served. They don't have to credit you with it. That's one of the unfortunate things. I've had it where I sat in jail for 6 weeks and it wasn't credited to me. So I had to, like, start all over. But...
that's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, in your case, like I said, I was looking at much worse charges, but, you know, in your case, you're looking at a simple trespassing, you know, misdemeanor.
It's normally a ticket.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't even be making you wait till October. You know, that's just a scare tactic.
I could be done. I could have been done a long time ago with it, but the problem they have with me, besides the fact that they don't like what I do and that I currently have a lawsuit against Cook County because of the same exact location where I was arrested and they deleted my footage, and had a lawsuit against them with the judges and stuff. Aside from all that, they don't like me, and I also have the nerve to take it to a jury trial. Like, I've been pleading not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. Like, this could have been done so long ago. In fact, on my very first arraignment, the first thing my lawyer, when I was introduced to her, said to me was, like, hey, they're offering whoop-de-woo. And I'm like, okay, you're going to talk to me first? I didn't do this, so I'm not going to plead to that. Same thing with Sue. And so we were going to not guilty, not guilty. And eventually they got Sue on, she felt compelled to plead guilty because right after she said, at the pretrial, she said she's pleading not guilty still. They violated her because of the charge that she got in the City of Justice when Bonkowski was yelling in her face. Because of that, they violated her I-bond. So, I was fine, and I been going through the process or whatever. And then my last court date, my attorney came up to me and said, I think we have a great shot at getting it. We have a perfect judge. Just all you got to do is sign this waiver that you waive your rights to a jury trial, and we can do this today. And I said, no, there's no way in hell I'm going to go through a bench trial where a judge, somebody who I currently have a lawsuit against, basically, who knows what I do and don't like it, I'm not going to let them decide my fate. Are you kidding me? I'm going to invoke my right to a jury trial. Absolutely. And everyone was surprised. The judge was surprised, like, oh, the witnesses are here. He was obviously pissed off. Well, then shortly after that, they called me back to the bench, and the state attorney said they were going to violate me because of hopefully that went to Leon Valley. So they were gonna arrest me. So while they were getting ready to they took a break or whatever for like 5 minutes, and then my attorney came out and was like, look, I talked them into house arrest, so they're not taking you in today. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. So they set up jury trial. First, actually, they were going to try to see if they could get a jury together that day, which I don't care. I was prepared for that, but then they couldn't do it or whatever. They were very obviously mad, and so they set up they put me in house arrest, and then they instead of doing like a speedy trial, they put it out to October 9th.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm here.
That's crazy. I mean, my question though is, if you have a open case against that jurisdiction, can't you have, I mean, isn't that a conflict of interest? Can't you have that moved to a different county?
I can file a petition for that. However, I don't really know how to do that personally, and my lawyer really, let's just say, she's not doing her due diligence. She actually knew that I went to Texas, because we were trying to coordinate a time for me to meet with her around that. So she knew that I went to Texas. Like, it's not a surprise. Also, in my I-bond stipulations, I was reading through it, and even though it is sort of common law, it's supposed to be common knowledge that, you can't leave the state, you can't commit any more crimes, and you got to attend all your court dates. Those are the 3 rules of I-bonds. And that's sort of supposed to be common knowledge, but I never signed anything saying that. Like, on my paperwork, it didn't say these are your stipulations. Like, I had to actually do research to find that out.
Yeah, but and didn't you call either your bondsman or your public defender and say, "Hey, I want to go to Texas"?
Well, I didn't ask for permission because I didn't think that I had to.
Oh, well, somebody said you
After
did.
my court date, I told her that I was going to Texas because she wanted to see me like on this Wednesday, and I said, that's not going to work because I'm leaving on Tuesday to go to Texas, and I can call you when I get back, that kind of thing. Like we were trying to do a little phone tag with setting up a time to meet, and she knew I was in Texas. And then had the nerve to ask me right after the state's attorney wanted to revoke my bond. She had the nerve to come up and ask me, she said, "Did you leave the state?"
So basically,
yes, I did.
Feigning ignorance. Then that's just, yeah. I mean, see, now, like you said, it wasn't written down anywhere. You didn't sign for it, so legally, there has to be some way to legally say, "Hey, look, I was not informed of this. I did not sign anything agreeing to this. So how can I be charged for that?" I mean, there was not.
I could have said something, but they threw me off guard with that. I was totally unprepared. Like I couldn't believe that was happening, so I didn't actually have my bond slip in my hand. You know what I mean? All those things I didn't think about until after the fact, including the fact that she knew I was out of state.
Yeah, but as long as there is no official on the books law that says you cannot leave the state while you are out on bond, then they cannot say, "Oh, ignorance is no excuse." They can't say just because you didn't know doesn't mean it makes it right. Because if there's no law and you didn't sign anything saying that, then they have no legal holding.
To be fair, I don't know if there's a law. I really don't know exactly how that works. I'm actually just learning about I-bonds because bonding is kind of like a state-by-state thing.
Right.
In every state that I've lived in before, like Minnesota, you can have bail bondsmen, and usually when you sign a bond, it's good until your very next court date, and then it starts all over again, and you're out on your own recognizances because you've shown that you are willing to, return and go to court. Illinois, on the other hand, is a lot different. They can't have bail bonds businesses here. So what they do typically is the state or the police officer who arrests you can issue you an I-bond, and what that stands for is individual bond. So they'll put an amount, like my amount was $1,500, but then an I-bond, they let you go without paying. You don't have to pay any money, but you just have to return. But the I-bond terms are good. You have to go by the I-bond terms all the way until your case is done, until it's settled, until you get sentenced.
Right.
So every single court date is done. And so that's why it's different too. I didn't know that either. But then they have also other types of bonds as well. But it's most common in Illinois for people to be issued I-bonds for misdemeanors.
See, here in New York State, you either bail out or you bond out. You actually have to get a bondsman, pay the 10% plus collateral, the whole deal. And here it's like if you don't show up for court, they send a bounty hunter after you. The whole, like you see on TV, that's how it is here. I mean, I've been out on bond, and being out on bond here sucks because it's worse than being on probation. You're constantly checking in, you're constantly doing drug tests. You can't you can't look at anybody the wrong way, or they'll just violate you back. So.
I totally commend Bao because, they offered him a bunch of ridiculous terms. And anybody, when you're in a desperate situation and you're about to be caged, most people will do anything to be out, even signing some ridiculous terms and crap that you really don't agree with. But Bao had those opportunities, if you want to call them that. Basically they owned him, but he could do from the outside, and he refused that. So, I totally commend him.
Yeah, the one thing he had going for him is the fact that he's been through this before, so he knew what to expect going into jail. For most people, it's when they go to the jail their first time, they do anything in the world to avoid going to jail. Begging, pleading, crying, you name it. But, I think that... Huh? I think the only reason that he held out is because previously he was held for like 13 days and they wanted him to give information up and all this stuff, and he refused to. So they held him in like a mental health cell for like 13 days or something like that. I believe it was 13 days. So he knew what to expect going in. I think that's the only reason he agreed. Because you're right, most people would have just signed the paper and did whatever they said just to avoid going in a cage. So
yeah, and I think that you're absolutely right, because I know a lot of people who have been in the system and they're familiar with jail and stuff like that, and those people a lot of times would much rather just tough it out, just do the time, instead of being on paper and have to have all these ridiculous terms of being out of the cage. They'd much rather just suck it up, deal with it, so that way when they leave they don't have to answer to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on probation right now. I was looking at the time served, time in, and then probation, or going in for a year and then being free and clear. But I chose the latter, or the previous with the 3 years probation, because I had to take care of my mom. So
yeah,
that's the only reason I chose to take probation over doing a year, because I would have just did a year standing on my head. I probably would have got sheriff release after 6 or 7 months and have been out. But, because of my mom, that's the only reason I chose to go with probation. But, my PO has been great to me all the way up until I did that audit at Monroe County Jail here and had the encounter with the sheriffs here. Up until then, I had no problems with probation. So.
Well, what's the deal with that? Well, you had an issue?
Oh yeah, it's. I don't want to go into details because I'm live right now. But the nutshell version of it is it has caused some headaches for me, because originally I was looking at being off by now. They were gonna let me go a year early. So I was going to be off probation by now. But I did that audit.
You're like, we're going to keep an eye on you just a little bit longer.
Yes. Well, I chose, I chose to do the audits. And, it's caused an issue for me. So I don't know how much longer I'll be on probation now. I mean, I just met with my PO and his boss like a week and a half ago, I think it was, or 2 weeks ago. And so we kind of worked out what's going to happen going forward, and hopefully I'll still be able to get off early, just not yet. All my fines are, my fines are paid, my surcharges are all paid. All I have to pay is the DNA sample, because in New York State now, if you get put on probation or parole, you have to give a DNA sample, but you have to pay for it. It's $50, Well, they did tell me that back when I got put on probation. I just forgot about it. So that's all I owed to them is $50.
You gotta pay them to give them a sample. You should turn around and be like, well, sorry, it cost you $100 to take my sample.
Yeah. Well, aren't they charging you a monthly fee for the ankle monitor?
It's $10 a day.
Jeez, that's just crazy. I mean, that's $300 a month.
So they take away my way to earn income, and then they put on these for something that I didn't ask for. So yeah, that's how they work.
Yeah, well, I know that I was told that Padilla is paying $600 a month.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean that's just sheer railroading right there. I mean, that's...
Absolutely.
I just can't believe... like I said, they're trying to shut us down. They're coming down on us every which way they can. And the sad thing is, all the proof is there that we aren't even breaking any laws. I mean, yeah, there are some nutcases that do things like calling the cops on themselves, but we're not all like that.
And I like the idea of being more decentralized and doing our own thing, because there are certain auditors that I don't want to associate myself with. You know what I'm saying? And we're all different, do it for different reasons. But the fact of the matter is, we're all doing something that's totally legal, and they don't like it.
Right. Well, that's what I've been saying about the Black Label. If you say the name of the person calling the cops on themselves, it makes him appear. It's like Bloody Mary. No, oh, damn it, Ben, you made me lose my train of thought. Oh, my God. He's killing me with that. No, but, you know, like I said, though, it's everything we do is based around being legal. The videos are there. Like with my situation, I was accused of taking a sheriff away from his duty to come out and check what I was doing and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's not my fault. I was standing on a public sidewalk holding a camera. That's all. I wasn't even in the parking lot. I never went in the parking lot or nothing. We stayed on the public sidewalk. And
because not only is it perfectly legal, but it's First Amendment protected. And I think a lot of people don't actually have a grasp on how important that is.
Yeah, you're right.
Civil rights.
Well, somebody kept in Bow's stream last night. Somebody kept saying that bringing up the Constitution and the amendments and all that in non-federal case of court is a bad idea. It won't be considered. All that, Albert. It's pink camera magic. It won't be considered. You know, they won't even care. Blah blah blah. And my thought is, if you've got a jury trial, every single thing they hear that backs up you being legal and having done nothing wrong should be said.
Absolutely.
You know, why would you not want to say? That's what I don't get, is these people were adamant that they shouldn't even bother bringing up the Constitution in Bow's trial. And Albert says, hi, pink camera magic. He's blind, so he listens to us. And he said he forgot your voice. You have a nice voice, he says.
Oh, thank you, Albert.
It's Albert Kazmirov. He's like on everybody's stream. He's a great guy. He's got one of them braille readers, and so sometimes he listens to what we're saying, and other times it actually appears, it like pops up pins on a braille reader for him. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so it just goes to show, though, how many different types of people are standing up for what we believe in. Ben says, tell Albert she's also very pretty. Just saying.
Sucker.
Yeah, Albert, she is very pretty, yo. So you're definitely missing out there, bud. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, I think that, like with your case, it was painfully obvious you guys were legal. You weren't, they never gave you the chance to be trespassed the first time before they criminally trespassed you. And
yeah, I don't want to get into too many details about the case. I don't mind talking about like
okay. Sorry.
Recording inside and stuff because I was never charged with anything related to taking pictures.
Okay.
But
no,
I
apologize. But it's like, okay, well, like, take Bow's case then. I mean, he literally, okay, yeah, let's just play devil's advocate here and say, yeah, he's late to court, okay? That's his worst crime. He was 20 minutes late to court. This man has been sitting in jail for 30, 40 days, however long it's freaking been now, because he was 20 minutes late to court. I mean, really? I don't
want to play devil's advocate on that because I'm no sadist. I don't want to see non-violent people being locked in a cage at all.
I just meant devil's advocate in terms of, let's just say he was late for court. Instead of saying, they were wrong and changed the time on him. So even if we just assume he woke up late the day and he was late, that still doesn't justify him sitting in court this long and them trying to give him all those stipulations all for a misdemeanor. I mean,
Yep.
I was looking at multiple felonies, and I was looking at quite a while in jail. If I had gone to trial and lost, I was looking at quite a bit of time. And I didn't get nowhere near the stipulations that Bow's looking at for a Class D misdemeanor.
Yeah.
So, it boggles my mind that somebody somewhere, I'm sure by now, the water, the whole water cooler talks have gone on, and other judges are aware of the case, and other lawyers are aware of Bow's case, and it just boggles my mind that not one of them has stepped up and said, okay, enough's enough. Even if they pull the judge aside in closed doors and just say, hey, look, all right, you made your point. He's been sitting in jail long enough. You win. Let him go. It just boggles my mind that people can be so heartless to a veteran with no criminal record. I mean, I'm blown away. I am. I'm blown away that it has gone this long and gotten this far. So, I definitely...
I need to find out, like in Bow's case, who that judge is, and find out, like, when, the next election's going to be and things like that. Is this judge an elected official? Or is she just somebody who fills in? I mean, if she's an elected official, especially, we've got to do everything that we can to make sure that she's not re-elected.
I believe the judge that's actually overseeing the case, if I'm not mistaken, Gunner said the judge's name last night on the stream, and I believe it's a real judge, which would mean elected. So, if
the judge was an hour late. I'm reading some of these comments, you guys, and Langley said the judge was an hour late.
Wasn't that Freeman's that the judge was late?
I'm not sure.
I know that Freeman did a post where he said he got to court and the judge wasn't even there yet. So
that doesn't surprise me. It's pretty common, actually.
Oh yeah, I know. I've had it too. I've gotten to court and they'd say be here by 10. I'd get there at 9:20, sit down, and I'd be sitting there till noon before the judge even walked into the courtroom. But don't you dare leave to go have a cigarette, because if they call your name and you're not sitting there, that's it. You're done for. Like I said, here, the judges don't play. It doesn't matter what your charge is. The judges here, they strive towards putting people in jail. So, and
some people are just like that, and they like that power, and they feel like there's this God. I think a lot of them have a God complex.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm just glad we were able to sit down and have this brainstorming session here, because you came up with some great ideas for what we can do, and I hope all you guys...
What's the plan? I'm down for whatever. All I have is time at this point.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just glad I'm not trying to hang up or not. I'm just saying, I'm glad that's why I wanted you to call in, because, I figured you would have a lot of ideas that I didn't think of that would help this, because I want to help everybody's cases, everybody that's going through this. It sucks sometimes. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet and you have to take the plea deal. Sometimes it's just not worth the risk. A lot of people, I see these comments all the time of people saying that if you give in and show your ID, or if you give in and take the plea, or whatever, you're not a true activist, or you don't truly believe in this cause. I'm sitting there thinking...
Don't read the comments.
Yeah, well, that's right. But the funny thing is, it always comes from the keyboard warriors that they don't even try to help with videos, mirroring, or nothing. They literally don't do anything. But it just kills me, because it makes me want to reach through the computer so bad. Because it's just like, look, I even say this about cops, though. A lot of people say, oh, well, a good cop can't be a good cop if they don't turn in the bad cops. Well, my view is they're still humans. They still have families to feed.
Families, they need their job and stuff, and look what happens to the ones who do try to do the right thing.
Right. I mean, that's what internal affairs is for. I mean, for all we know, all these good cops are, turning evidence into IA under, but it's all done behind closed doors because, of course, they don't want their names out as being a whistleblower. So, what gives the right for anybody to say, oh, you're not a good cop because you didn't turn in all the bad cops? For all you know, that cop turned in 50 bad cops. It's just not public knowledge. And as far as I know, internal affairs cannot be FOIA'd. So,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, this was a topic we talked about the other day, and I actually had people in my channel that were adamant that I was wrong, that there's no good cops. And I refuse to believe that. I know good cops. I've been arrested by good cops. So, it's just...
That's kind of I mean, well, first of all, I would say it's a matter of opinion, but also I think that a lot of the people who say there are no good cops, their idea is, and I'm not saying I don't share this idea either, but is that the whole notion and the idea of policing, especially when they're arresting people for nonviolent crimes, and because it really affects their life and stuff like that. I think they're looking at the bigger picture and saying that anybody who participates in an organization such as that, where there's a lot of extortion, they're taking hours away from their families, things like that, that there's no way that could be good.
Yeah, it's true. I like to say nothing is absolute. You can't say there's absolutely no good cops. You can't say all cops are absolutely evil. I just don't believe in the absolute. So, it's just...
Yeah. People are different things. And also people change and, constantly evolving. So, yeah, I totally get it. And I don't think that everything's absolute. I think it's absolute either.
Well, that's why I tell people, look at me. I mean... 5 months ago, I was leaving the nasty comments saying this is nothing but cop baiting, and because I was uninformed. I just accepted the way the cops behaved and all that as the status quo. So it took you and it took Denise Lynn and Michigan Mister and several others to really change my mind. So, I like to use myself as the perfect example that people can change. People can realize, how bad things really are. People's eyes can be opened, even cops. And somebody made the comment yesterday that they're trying to squash this because they don't even want cops talking about what's going on with Bao because some cops might start to agree with him. So,
right. And I think that's kind of a nice untapped area. A lot of times, we do this honest, those of us who look at the bigger picture, and we're thinking like, okay, we're gonna show them what we can do. But at the end of the day, I mean, the police officers who respond to these, there's a big demographic of people that could possibly be influenced.
Yeah, and it's. I think, hey, if that's the case, like, I don't know if you've ever talked to the guy that's in these channels sometimes. He uses the name Steve Pinder, but he lives in Texas. He actually lives in Crowley, Texas, and he trains police in martial arts and weapons handling, and he's very close, friends to cops, but yet he still believes in what we do. And he does a stream pretty much every day talking about exactly this, all the different aspects from a police perspective and an activist perspective. And I think it's definitely something you guys, and you too, Amanda, just check out his stream sometime. I mean, this guy, he's, in Crowley, of all places, Crowley's the #1 place that Bao was going to. you know, he knows a lot of the cops there, and he's friends with some of them, and he can help provide a very unique view of the cops' perspective of all this. So, it's all about information spreading. That's why I wanted to do this stream. We all need to help each other. We all need to spread more information. You guys, a lot of you that, if you're not aware of this, Pink Camera Magic released a video yesterday. It's directed towards new activists, but I watched it and I believe it's beneficial to everybody. So if you guys, have the time, go over to Pink Camera Magic's channel. If you're not subbed there, of course, you're nuts. But be sure to watch her latest video. So.
Thank you.
Well, no, it's true. I watched it. I started watching it at 4 o'clock this morning, and I couldn't turn it off. I watched the whole thing straight through. So.
Awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah, it was very well done, and I really, honestly, I believe you need to continue that train of thought and that keep putting out videos like that, because you're very personable, but you're also intelligent and you're experienced. So that's what makes it. I couldn't even pause the damn video. So. And yeah, MD, yes, she has plenty of time now, haha. But
yeah, exactly. Maybe I needed this break. Well, my rent gets paid, I should be good.
Well, somebody also, I re-released my, I don't know, you probably got the notification, I'm guessing, but I re-released my auditor arrest compilation video.
I saw that.
And one of my subscribers posted a comment in the video suggesting that people take that video and overlay it with their thoughts on each individual clip, each arrest, and put their thoughts in it. What are their opinions? What do they understand of the law as it pertains to that person being arrested? And I think that you doing that would be really great, because all these people, or pretty much all these people anyways, but you've been around long enough that you would give great insight on each individual case. So maybe food for thought,
Well, think about it. I need some video ideas. That's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, I know how that goes, trust me. I'm like racking my brain. Right now I'm waiting for Mr. Black Label to finish his end of something in order to complete a project, but see, the hard part with you is I want to do the auditor spotlight video on you, but since we already did the interview video, it makes it a little more difficult to come up with, okay, what more can we talk about? So that's why I haven't contacted you about an auditor spotlight video yet. It's just I've never.
Figure something out if you want to.
Yeah, I'm hoping to, because you are a highly requested person to have one video for. So, excuse me. I mean, anything else you got on your mind?
Not really, I guess. No. Oh, yeah, one thing. I actually, a good friend of mine was moving to Chicago. Actually, just moved to Chicago. They got in late last night, and that's some of our staying with me for the night until they get into the house tomorrow. And they actually happen to be a family who's in Minneapolis. The police climbed their fence and shot both of their dogs, and it was a pretty high-profile case. And they're actually here. The dogs are here and everything. The dogs survived, and I'm going to be doing an interview with my friend's daughter who witnessed the whole thing. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to do it live, or I'm going to pre-record it, but that should be a video that I'll be having out today, sometime later on.
Wow! You guys, I hope you guys all heard that. If you didn't, she said that a friend of hers in Minneapolis that's staying with her now, they have a dog. The dog was shot, and the daughter witnessed it. So she's going to be doing a video interviewing the daughter on what happened. The dog survived, but
both of the dogs are awesome.
Yeah, so definitely watch Pink's channel for that. I'm looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, honestly, it'll probably be. I don't think I'm gonna do it live because I want to show like video clips and things like that happen. Because it's kind of a long story.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I'm gonna give you updates. I'm gonna, the whole 9 yards. So a lot of you may have even heard about the story about that like a year ago. When we see the clips and stuff, it might refresh some of your memories.
See, the questions are already popping up. Shot by who? How old is the daughter?
You're gonna have to find out.
Yeah. There you go, guys. You'll have to wait for the video. Like I said, I wouldn't do it live either. So, yeah, but that definitely.
Minneapolis police.
It was police.
Yep, Minneapolis.
Yeah, okay. So Minneapolis police. That's all you get. You gotta wait for the video. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Everybody's laughing. Well, not everybody, but some people are laughing now. So, yeah, I'm kind of in like one of those limbos right now, waiting for news from my mom on what's going on with her. And I wasn't feeling too well myself, so that's why I decided to do a live while I could. But I'm glad this worked out. Yeah, Bullet, you missed it, man. We've been on the phone with Pink for a while, talking about Pink's case and Bao's case and some videos that are coming out. So, I hate when you get, 35, 40 people sitting there and you run out of things to talk about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take off because, got places to go.
No, yeah. Places to go. You got that 10 feet to the bathroom,
Yeah,
So.
Walk around my one-bedroom apartment and do some pacing. And you ever see the 40-year-old virgin when he said the virgin, I forgot his name, Steve Carell, was like, I've had I live a very fulfilling life. And then he sort of flashbacks in his mind all the things that he does. He's karaoke, and then he plays the tuba. And that's my life right now.
Yeah, I bet you're very intimately known of every inch of your apartment now, or your house. I don't know what you live in, but I'm sure you probably know every inch of that place now.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I have anyways, but, I'm done cleaning. I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, it's like that in a jail cell, trust me. It's just you like clean your floor, and all the walls. I mean, you could anything to occupy your time. So,
right.
At least you got the benefit of electronics. So.
Right. And I'm not much of a TV person. Like, I don't have the patience to sit there and, watch movies and watch TV shows. Like, I can't get into that. So, I'm just, going to the crazy a little bit.
See, I'm a binger. I find, a good show, like Orange is the New Black or something, a show that I never thought I would ever like. And next thing you know, I watched, every episode straight through. By the end of it, you're like, no! Bring the next one. So, alright, well, I appreciate you calling in and, having a chat with us.
My pleasure, man. I appreciate you.
Alright, well, we'll look forward to your streams and your videos.
Alright, sounds good. Thank you guys for listening, and talk to you later. Bye.
Alright, bye. And there you have it, guys. That was Pink Camera Magic. I always appreciate talking to her. So, it's kind of like a starstruck thing with me to an extent, because like I said, Amanda was one of my inspirations into getting into this and one of my sources for information. So, it's kind of like talking to a movie star in a way, because I used to watch all of her videos, but it was like I didn't actually ever get to talk to her. So when I finally started talking to her months ago, it was like being starstruck in a way. Just like when Tony Vera, he was one of my favorites, when I first started watching these videos a long time ago. I started watching Tony Vera's videos. Bullet, no, shot a dog, Pink's friend, who's staying with Pink right now. The dog survived. The dog is there. The daughter witnessed it. So, interview with the daughter forthcoming. So, keep an eye out for that. But yeah, it was like when Tony Vera subscribed to me, it was like, holy crap. One of my auditor idols, and whatever, however you want to word it, subscribed to me. It was kind of like when Black Label subscribed to me and News Now Houston subscribed. It was huge. Michigan Mister told me to look for a response, but so bear with me a second. Okay, Michigan Mister, I don't know if you're still in the room or not, but I'll take a look. Okay, guys, so we talked about Bao. We talked about the Bao situation. We talked about what we can do to try to help Bao. You know, Amanda talked about things like hitting up Facebook, the Facebook pages of things like news anchors and all types of news personnel. Hell, crime columnists in newspapers. If you guys can find, I don't do Facebook, but if any of you are on Facebook and are able to do that, Gunner's supposed to be releasing a video sometime, either hopefully today, with all the information we would need on Bao. You know, the fact that he's a vet, the fact that he has no criminal record, all those things, plus all those stipulations and that. And so we want to spread that word. We want to mirror these or make our own videos based on what the information Gunner gives us. Maybe make flyers and hand them out or put them in car windshields or mailboxes or whatever. Anything you can do. Because right now, you know, we have to be realistic. Not enough people know about this. You know, I mean, we are but a fraction of the country's population. A small fraction of the country's population. So if we can get 10%, or not 10%, 1% of the greater Tarrant County, San Antonio, Texas metropolitan area, if we can just get 1% of those people to be aware of what's going on with Bao and want to help, that's still 15 to 20,000 people. Hey, Cop Cam. So, if we, 20,000 voices, imagine if 15,000 people showed up at a protest to help get Bao out because of the unconstitutional way he's being treated. You know, imagine what that would do. You know, that's what we're discussing and what we would like to do. Hey, Joshua. So, and of course, if you got any other ideas, please feel free to share them. I mean, the bottom line is we need to spread the word. You know, people, that's why, hey, David. I mean, if it's kind of like people keep saying, oh, well, why do you care so much about subscribers? Why do you care about subscriber counts? Why do you care how many subscribers you have? This is why. This right here is why. You know, that's that many more people we could get the information to with the click of a button. You know, Black Label, he can click a button and send a video to 102,000 people. You know, people say, why do you care about monetization? Why do you guys care if you're monetized? Blah, blah, blah. Well, look at Pink's situation. She's under house arrest because she's fighting for our rights. So, that money helps her survive. That money helps pay her bills because she's on house arrest fighting for us. That's why it matters. You know, I'm just tired of all of the nonsense. This is what we need to focus on. We got almost 40 people in here. This is what we need to focus on. No he said, she said, who post what, whatever. Apparently some people took what I said the other day wrong as well, about the whole posting videos on what happened with Monkey and what mocking videos and whatnot. My intentions weren't to piss anybody off. My intentions were, it's pointless. It's not helping us. We need to focus on what helps us. Like, look at Monkey's situation. He gave the detective the proof he needed, and the detective left it sitting in Monkey's driveway. I mean, really. Imagine what if all the people in Monkey's area knew about that. What would they say? How would the people in Monkey's area, I forget the name of the town he lives in now, Lowell, Massachusetts. Imagine if all the people in Lowell knew that one of their detectives thought so much about Monkey's case of getting beat up that he left the evidence on the ground. That right there, I mean, come on, hey Flo. You know, that right there is just, that needs to be made well known. People need to know about that. People need to mirror that video. Share Monkey's story about the memory card with all the proof the cops needed to arrest those that assaulted him being left in his driveway. You know, spread the word, people. Well, Anon, you know what? If we can get 1% of them, that's more than we have now. Think about this country. 1% of the number of people in this country, that's still over 3 million people. 3 million people. If 3 million people go knocking on Congress's door about something, guess what? A change is going to be made. Hey, Gunner. We were talking about, you know, that video you talked about last night about making on Bao's behalf with all of the stipulations and whatnot, and how we're going to mirror it and we're going to spread flyers and emails, contact every news station we can, everything, anything we can do. We need to spread this information. Now, there's well over 10,000 people. Maybe not active auditors, but there are more than 10 people involved, 10,000 involved in it. But it's irrelevant. What we need is to get the information out to the masses. It's just like anything else, guys. I mean, if there was a case of, say you had, I don't know, a guy that's going around breaking into people's houses. You have a description of him. You have the information. If you don't tell anybody, nobody can try to make a change. Nobody can try to get him arrested or whatever. It's all about spreading information. Bao's story needs to be told. And it needs to be told everywhere to anybody that will listen. Anybody. You know, every news anchor, every newspaper columnist, somebody will listen. Hey T-Dog, I just talked with Amanda. She said it's all cool now. Everything's, thanks for the little mirror you did and that, you know, sending traffic her way. She was just on the show for an hour. Marita, we don't know that. All we know is the news that have been told now. Nobody thought anybody would want to hear Padilla's story until that Hispanic news station picked it up finally. But they never would have picked it up if people weren't persistent in telling all the different news stations. There's gonna be a newspaper somewhere or a TV station somewhere that's going to learn or listen. Hey Canuck, welcome. I hope you're feeling alright, man. You guys don't know, Canuck was in a automotive accident recently, so he was kind of offline for a while. But like I said, somebody somewhere is going to listen. Somebody, well, some news station, some newspaper, something somewhere is gonna listen, and they will tell Bao's story. Bao is a veteran. He has no criminal record, and he's being held in a cage 24 hours a day. That story is going to be picked up somewhere by someone. All it takes is us spreading that story. People have to be willing to get the word out. I hope all of you are. I hope every single one of you, you guys know, I don't know, if you guys haven't had the pleasure of talking to Bao, he's an amazing activist and a great person. I've had the pleasure of speaking with him offline. Very intelligent man. I call him a friend. So, I can only hope that we can all do our best to get him out. I mean, yeah, he's got to sit in jail another, 15 days or so before his next court appearance. Hopefully, at that point, the court will have come to its senses, I mean. But between now and then, we have 2 weeks to spread the word. Once Gunner gets us that information, we can spread the word everywhere. I plan on mirroring it or making a video based on it, either way, the information's getting up. I've got 1,500 people I can tell the story to. So, I hope the rest of you guys are going to do the same. Corruption in Tarrant County again. What do you mean, Gunner? Who had a warrant signed out on them? See, this is what I mean. Look at what Gunner just said. All of that needs to be known. 99.9999999% of the country has no idea what's going on. Oh, okay. I mean, literally, that's how few people in this country know what's going on. That's not okay. Not at all. I know I keep repeating myself because I believe it. I believe we can make a difference. I wouldn't sit here and focus so much on this if I didn't believe we couldn't make a difference. Lady, yes, he was. I didn't. That was my mistake. My mistake. But I mean, this is just, it's something that needs to be spread. Hey, Dragonfly. I mean, it's just the way it is. We have to tell people. Our voice and our cameras are our way of doing this. Hey, Gunner, that's perfect. I fully intend, once you make that video with all that information, I'm either going to just mirror the whole video or make a video based on it. Either way, I fully intend on spreading the information as much as I can. I mean, you know, I'm trying to get people motivated to get on Facebook, get on Instagram, contact every news anchor, every newspaper columnist in the country. There's so many thousands of news outlets in this country, at least one of them is going to pick the story up. It's statistically impossible for them all to not pick it up. It's just a matter of them being made aware of it. I have checked out Maximilian's channel. That's the problem. We need a condensed. We just need a, here's fact. Bowen's in the military for this length of time in this branch of the military. Bow has no criminal record. These are the charges. These are the stipulations. That's what we need. We know, no sugarcoating, no nonsense. We need the cold, hard facts. And then we can either run with what you give us or make a video based on it. If we have to, shiny it up a bit. But the fact is, there are many, 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 many thousands of people that follow our channels. I mean, I know I have people in this channel that have anywhere from 500 to 100,000 subscribers sitting in this channel right now. So it's all a matter of them having something they can give to their viewers. And then those viewers hopefully will share it with their viewers. Hence, I mean, it has to go viral. It has to. Because we're not going to do it any other way. And on Cyber, I've watched a lot of videos by a lot of people that call themselves anonymous. Honestly, I have. There's so many people that call themselves anonymous and they use the whole anonymous facade, so he may, I don't know. I can talk to David, but I can't talk to him till I have the information to give him. I mean, I could call David right now, but I don't know I don't have the facts that he would need. Well, hey, you know what? Cop Cam, that's awesome. It's only 24 more to go. I've made calls to news stations and all that in Texas, and unfortunately, they all like, what the hell do you care? You're in New York, and they hang up on me. I never make it past the clerical staff. Pink Camera Magic suggested go to the Facebook pages of these news anchors and columnists and that, and send the messages directly to them. Bypass the clerical staffs that are at the office. And it's a great idea. Well, that's the point in On Cyber. Anonymous is undefined. I mean, there's literally, like I said, I've watched videos by many people that call themselves anonymous. Anonymous is undefined. It's no any one entity. No one person, no one group. That's the whole point. Albert, a non-cyber new Centurion. And he still talks with Centurion's son. Yeah, you're right, Chris and Katz, but you know what? We won't know until we ask them. We won't know until we tell them. I can only do so much. I mean, I only have so many hours a day. That's why we need more people doing this. I was really, last night, when Gunner read off all that information, I learned new facts I hadn't known about the case. Like, when they were trying to make Bao sign that paper, Gunner said there was 3 different officials that tried to make him sign the paper. And Bao had asked for representation before signing, and they denied him it. I didn't know any of that. I had no clue that it was that bad until last night. Hey, Tay, I hope everything's okay. I sent you a text earlier, but figured you were busy. But, I mean, It's just, I just can't believe that I'm blown away. I'm speechless at times about this. Because it hurts. Because, like I said, I call Bao a friend. So to have him sitting, I've been in solitary. I know what it's like. The only difference was we have the 23-1. It was constitutionally, leaving. He's not on death row. He is not a violent criminal. He is not in a supermax prison, which means 24-hour, and he's not a danger to himself. So 24 hours in 24 hours solitary is unconstitutional. I hated solitary personally. I preferred to at least have a cellie. And I liked when, being in general. And on cyber, you're asking unanswerable questions. I already said, anonymous is a non-entity. It's undefined. That's kind of the whole point of being anonymous. I mean, I know Maximillionaire has done the DAOs. I get that. But, I mean, like I said, let's face facts. Users want entertainment. Or at least short and sweet. They're not going to watch 3 hours where, I'm not saying that's how long, I'm just saying, they're not going to watch 3 hours worth of videos on his case. They want the facts. Well, I'll tell you, I hope she gets better, and, I know what you're going through. Well, yeah, Ed Hartgrove, I wholly agree with that. That's why I want Gunner to provide the facts. He's got all the paperwork. He can say, look, here's the form. It says this. Short, sweet. Yeah, there you go. The who, what, why, when, and where. I just firmly believe that we need to just hit like Amanda said, hit Facebook, hit all that. We talk about it amongst ourselves all the time, but I don't hear any spreading of the word beyond our community, with the exception of a few phone calls here and there. Is it Fort Worth? Oh, U.S. District of Court in Fort Worth. Okay. Yeah, well, there you go, Copcam. See, that's great advice. I know you were helping him out a lot last night with advice, which was great. The more help, the better. I mean, you got Maximillionaire, you got Mrs. Constitutional, you know, quite a few people that are well versed in law. So, oh yeah, I know, Cop Can. It took that long just to try to call news stations. I was getting, you know, I kept getting the runaround, and then eventually it was, well, you're in New York State. What the hell do you care? I'm a nobody. I'm just some guy with a criminal record, not a criminal record, but a misdemeanor record, and up in New York State. I don't mean nothing to them. But if they had 10,000 people knocking on their door about it, then they're going to want to answer the door. They're going to want to at least try to put, or make it appear like they're putting an effort into it. We'll never know until we see the outcome, whether or not they actually did anything. Hey, Miss Sturry. Steve, hey, how you doing, man? I was talking about you earlier to Pink Camera Magic about, you know, how you train police and that, but you still see our views. You know, and I was telling her that maybe someday she should sit down and have a chat with you. If you guys aren't subbed to Steve Pinder, guys, Albert, I don't know if you subbed to Steve Pinder or not, but if you aren't, you'll love his live streams, man. So if you guys aren't subbed to Steve Pinder, you got to. W, they know that as soon as they see my phone number. A lot of them don't answer blocked calls. Well, that's good though, Tay. At least that's, you know, was not noticed and is being done. Ah, Albert, okay. Well, I know you're a very good listener, so I figured you would really like Steve's channel. I have a Google number. Unfortunately, every time I turn it on, there's a certain troll that bombards it, but Google doesn't want to let me just delete it and get another number. You gotta wait so long. Steve does like a lunchtime live stream every day, and he picks some pretty deep topics. You know, plus, like, you know, he's a lot like me in a lot of ways. You know, like, passionate about martial arts, passionate about this, what you believe in, all that. Yeah, well, Cop Cam, you gotta also remember, though, no offense to you, but Bao doesn't really know you. I believe he gave that to ethics, if I'm not... I could be wrong. But I'm just saying. Bao is very, very... he doesn't just do anything without researching. I'm sure he appreciates all the help you're giving him. No question about it. I'm just saying, power of attorney is a big deal. Okay, Tay, thanks for stopping by. Well, I'm not on the fence. I watched him a few times. He watched me a few times. We decided we enjoy each other's streams. We enjoy each other's company. So I try to attend every one of Steve's streams, but life gets in the way sometimes. Probably keep this about another 10 minutes or so. Probably stop it right around the 2-hour mark. I mean, if you guys got some other topics you want to talk about, I'm still rebuilding my OBS, so I don't show videos yet, and I have to like really pay attention really closely now to what videos I show. So I'm still working on that and building up a list of videos I can show. No, Steve, but you're honest. That's what makes it good. You're honest, period. Doesn't matter what the topic is. You're honest. Yeah, I know. I need to get that video. The video I re-released today, I had originally released months ago when my channel was a whole lot smaller. But YouTube was giving me some issues with it because of some clips that were in it. And now it's still labeling it as it needs to be reviewed, but I did alter the video. I had to take out a clip that was it had music playing in the background, and it was, you know, you could barely hear the music, but there was a copyright claim on it, so I had to take that out. Ed, I think it's that magic you crave at Gmail. It's probably on her about page. But that video, like I said, I re-released it today. I need to get it to 1,000 views in less than a week before YouTube will even review it. They got all these restrictions now. But, you know, like I said, there was a copyright claim on it, so I had to pull it and cut out that part. Well, it's not even not monetized. You still have to worry about copyright claims. I hadn't noticed before because I haven't looked at the video in a long time. But when I pulled up the stats on it, it listed a copyright claim. So I'm watching the video and I'm like, what the hell? I mean, I don't hear the song they're talking about. I had to crank the volume all the way up. And it was the clip with Bao being arrested while he was eating lunch. Like they were watching his live stream so they knew where he was. It was the music that was playing in the restaurant speakers in the background real low. That was what the copyright claim was on. So I had to pull it and edit that clip out, and like I said, I had to go through and silence out almost all the curse words in it, and there was a lot of them in a couple of clips. Okay, Bullet, what is it? Or do you not want to share yet? I mean, that's fine if you want to wait. Yeah, Joshua. I mean, like I said, I didn't even know it had a copyright claim on it until I pulled up the stats on the video. And then all of a sudden it showed copyright. But I had to dig and I had to crank the volume to even hear it. Okay, well, as you guys can see, Bullet says he's got some breaking news coming soon. So keep an eye on his channel. Man, I got this pain like shooting way up my neck over here and it won't stop. Normally, I could just kind of crack my neck a minute and it goes away. RCP? Everybody I know calls them RPD, but okay. Should be interesting. I haven't heard anything new about them lately. Well, I always worry about, like, I mean, I'm over paranoid now because of my heart attacks and all that, and all of my diagnosis. So now when I get like pains on my left side, I automatically start thinking heart or stroke. Well, this is like deep in my neck. It's not the skin level. Of course, Flo. I always miss you. Yeah, well, right now, Lady Bird, it's kind of hard with Mom in the hospital and that. I went to cardio the other day, and they wanted me to go to the hospital and they want to go back in and do another angiogram and look at my arteries and all that and see what the blood flow is like, because I have like no stamina anymore, nothing like that. But but I can't, because there's been something wrong with my stomach for like the last 6 months. So I have to go have a colonoscopy done. They think it could be either my gallbladder or my appendix. So cardio's trying to wait for gastro, but a cardiac issue could come up at any time. So I'm like perpetually paranoid now. Yes, Miss Sturry, they took off a good chunk of her foot. They took off the 2 toes and the side of her foot and a whole bunch of the tissue that died. So she wants to come home today or tomorrow. Well, tomorrow. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, they took the bones out of her foot and they did a culture on it, but it takes several days for the culture to come back. I still have no way to get up there to see her. I still have no way to build a ramp for her. Flo, I wish they would do open heart surgery on me, man. I've got 5 stents in the same spot in my heart. I wish they would just go in and do a bypass. Bypass that spot with a piece of artery that's so big it'll never clog up again in my entire life. So I wish they would go do it. But they make more money off of stents. Stents take them 5 minutes and they could charge 30 grand. Yeah, well, right now, Chris and Katz, they have only cut off part of her foot. The worst case scenario is they may have to take off the whole foot around, like right above the ankle. But that's worst case scenario. It's all going to depend on what the culture says when it comes back. Yeah, well, Steve, that's all I've been smoking is filtered cigars. That's only because they're $10 a carton. I know, Flo. That's what I'm saying. I've got no energy anymore, no stamina anymore at all. I'm paranoid now because after 5 heart attacks, and the one heart attack killed me. So it's like every little pain I feel in my chest or my left arm. Like my left arm took a lot of damage from the heart attacks. It's got a lot of nerve problems now. And my heart, of course, part of my heart is dead because of the 5 heart attacks. But it terrifies me now. I don't move without my nitro anymore. Yeah, Miss Sturry, my mom had the reverse Y done years ago. That's how she quit smoking. She was in the hospital for several weeks, so by the time she came out, she didn't want a cigarette anymore. But she had the reverse Y down where they went down into her legs. Plus, she had stents put in her legs, or shunts in her legs. She had a bypass done right here under her collarbone into that big artery. She's got several stents that were done by way of angiogram. I know, Chris and Cats, but it's like impossible for me to quit. I've tried. Yeah, well, Flo, that's why I said I wish they would go in and just put a new piece of artery in from my leg, bypass the, my heart attacks were in the Widowmaker. It's the left anterior descending artery on the outside of the heart. It's a very small artery. Most people die from it, and hence the name. But I had 5 heart attacks in the same spot in it. So now there's permanent thinning at that point. So I want them to just bypass that point altogether. And then, have a nice new big thick artery. My blood, everything about me is horrible. I was just diagnosed diabetic, but I'm on the metformin. So they're trying to stop the diabetes from actually becoming full-blown diabetes. No, I don't, Jen. I wish I did. If I had a guardian angel over me, I wouldn't feel like shit all the time. But it just sucks, It's like spending every waking moment scared that something's going to happen. And to literally not want to move without your nitro, it's so frustrating. I probably would have been doing great if I had been able to afford the medicine after the first heart attack. Then I would have never had the subsequent 4 heart attacks. Those were because I didn't have the money. So the platelets kept building up on the new stent and caused another blockage, which caused another heart attack, which led to another stent. And it was just a loop. Until by the time I finally got my 5th heart attack, I was able to get the meds. Sell my tattoos. My tattoos are so old, they're faded. Nobody would buy them. Alright guys, well, this has been up for 2 hours. People are starting to leave, so might as well end it on a high note. I'm gonna do something. I try to keep my mind occupied because I can't go see my mom, so it's just sitting here stressing all the time. So, but I'm glad you all stopped in, and we all got to try to help each other work on what we can do for Bao. Everybody keep an eye out for new videos from Pink. Keep new videos from Bullet. I'm going to be re-releasing at least 3 more videos. So I apologize to those that have already seen the videos. But it's the only way I can get them reprocessed properly. So, but, like I said, thank you all for stopping in.